Now we are reading Practicing the Power of Now, Essential Teachings, Meditation and Exercise from the Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. The beginning of freedom is realization that you are not the thinker. The moment you start watching the thinker, a higher level of consciousness becomes activated. You then begin to realize that there is a vast realm of intelligence beyond thought, that thought is only a tiny aspect of that intelligence. You also realize that all the things that truly matter, beauty, love, creativity, joy, inner peace, arise from beyond the mind. You begin to awaken. Introduction by Eckhart Tolle, Part 1, Accessing the Power of Now. Chapter 1, Being and Enlightenment. The Power of Now was launched in India June 2001. At that time, we did not envisage the tremendous impact of teaching would be having thousands of Indians. As mentioned in write-up, which recently appeared in a popular spiritual magazine, and his the book The Power Now is on the best-seller list in the India, which teams with spiritual masters. Testimony to the fact that we are open to any teaching which is genuine and strikes a chord in our hearts and being. Eckhart traveled to India in February 2002. He addressed gatherings in Chennai and Pondicherry, and this was followed by a 7-day retreat in Rishikesh. Eckhart's first India tour culminated with a 2-day evening talk in Mumbai, which was attended by over 500 people. On my recent trip to France, I visited the glorious cathedrals across the country. Their imposing grandeur and quietness walk in stark contrast to the hustle and bustle inside the great temple of India. Prior to my departure, I visited a typical small roadside temple in a by-lane of Mumbai. In retrospect, I feel that the 5 minutes I spent within the temple's chamber had the same quality as the moment I spent in cathedral, despite the difference in their environment. It was then I realized that why this is so and what was common to both. It was feeling within and not that which was without. A feeling of peace and tranquility, a state of being which most of us have experienced at some point or another in our lives. Eckhart referred to this as the invisible inner body, the animating presence within the visible and tangible body. In the Power of Now states, underneath your outer form, you are connected with some so vast and immeasurable and sacred that it cannot be convinced or spoken of, yet I am speaking it of now. I am speaking of it now not to give you something to believe in, but to show you how can you know it for yourself. This is what practicing the power of now helps you to do. Moving forward from power of now, it extracts the essence of the teachings, showing us how to free ourselves from enslavement to the mind. Throughout meditation and techniques, Eckhart shows us how to quit our thoughts, see the world in the present moment, and find a path to a life of grace ease and lightness. During a brief conversation prior to his departure from Mumbai, Eckhart mentioned that practicing the power of now for those who wanted the essence from the power of now in a book they could often refer to help them enter into sustained and awakened state of conscience and in everyday life. For those who have not read the power of now, were daunted by it for some reason, this book should provide a stepping stone in understanding the teachings in its shorter and concise format. Eckhart's message on the present moment is universal and timeless, as echoed in the word of Sannyasi Nyojin Senjaki, a pioneer bringing Zen Buddhas to the West. You cannot see it with your eyes, you cannot hold it with your hands, you cannot smell it with your nose, you cannot hear it with your ears, you cannot taste it with your tongue, you cannot form in your thought. Here it is, in happiness and in peace. Gautam Sachdeva, August 2002.